What be up? Remnant of Bear Island or Long Dark Survivor. We're missioning from Blackrock to all the way to Desolation Point. This little rock cache here. We just want to see if there's anything we want to take with. We should take that wetting stone with, but I'm gonna leave it here for now because we don't need wetting stones here in Blackrock because we got milling machine in the workshop there. Okay, here we're on the southern part of the ice river. To the left there's a birch sapling. I hope it spawns for you. And then yeah, if you turn up left here, you can get to the back end of the blocked bridge. I think it's the eastern access. Do I need to put a shortcut for the video? I could do that. And here we go. Here we are. We're leaving Blackrock for Keeper's Pass North. Sometimes there's a wolf here, or maybe it's just in super hard mode. I don't know. If you go straight there, you get to a rope climb down to the ice river of. It might be a real river. I'm not sure. There's a river there. Either it could be icy, it could not be. But the thing is, there's a little camping spot there where you can find stuff. Passing Boulder's Bridge here, and then down there, there's some things that you can collect. That I mentioned that there's also a deceased fellow there at the blocked bridge. Got really nice things. Like he's got some useful stuff. Need to take off my crampons. These are my fancy crampons that you get at the mine. There's the rope climb here. That you, if you go straight from the other side. The fancy rope, the fancy crampons that you get from the gold mine in Ash Canyon. I'll put a shortcut for that. That video in the description as well. Okay, so it's going pretty well here. I don't think there are any predators here in this part of the map. This is like a long corridor. Nothing really happens here. Up ahead we've got the Forester's Hermitage. Yeah, it's got a name for a posse where hermits go and do a bit of teaching. Apparently, it's like a semi-monastery kind of a deal. This guy was obviously like to chop down trees, which is a lot of fun, you know. Like I don't know if you're into felling trees. So this little rock cache was just I was just tired of carrying 50 rocks around. I wanted to make a proper little cache there where you leave this place, and I was that too much? I think I was like super tired or something. Just decided to build it there, and it kind of like stayed there. It's like marks the semi-middle of this place. Should have seen what's in there if it's anything interesting. So this is a very nice little trip here through all of these little twisty turny bits. Very pretty here with all the rocks and stuff. I was thinking about seeing as like nothing really happens. Like it's not. You know, it's like a pretty uneventful little trip. This. Usually when there's a lot of landmarks, you can say, oh, that's what's going on there. So I was thinking, what am I going to say? What am I going to talk about during this all this walking? And I was thinking about that one story that that's always fascinating. You must have heard about the Dyatlov Pass incident. You know, like these dudes that went on this trip to the Ural Mountains back in 1959, February 1959 now. So the thing is, they've made movies, and everybody on the internet has given their 50 cents worth on what they think happened with that story. And the thing about those guys is that they were serious dudes, man. You know. Let's just see what's here. This is our little rock cache. I don't know if this is titled even. Yes, the title. I can't really see now. It's too small. Okay. Here we go. This is we're leaving Keeper's Pass north, and we're going to Keeper's Pass south through this ice cave. Very nice. Very, very nice here. This ice cave is quite spectacular, you know, in its own way. I'm just gonna kind of I'm not really doing anything. I was like, I think this is my servo. I'm not doing an algorithm. It's just kind of like walking, following my nose. You know, you've heard of your servo. Told Maxwell Maltz's story. Very, very smart guy. He reckons your subconscious drives you most of the time. You know, like you don't even have to think about stuff. I think that's what I feel like going through this ice cave. I've got a sneaking feeling that if you go any way you go through this cave, you're gonna reach the end, because this. Let me see. This is the big entrance. When you start off, when I come in, I go over across to the small hole. You know, I think all of the tunnels are going to lead to the chamber that takes you out. Just you see there on the right hand side. That's where I can't even remember. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. This is a nice cave to explore. Lots of stuff in here. You know, so it's also not a. You know, as long as you got sticks, you're in business. You know, with these caves. That's one thing. One thing they're not as dangerous as they feel like when you start off. Here we go. We're in Keeper's Pass South region. Just made it through there, through the ice cave. Just wanted to see if we needed to cook something or boil a bit of water. We're gonna do a survey of bush. There we go. Keeper's Pass. Blardy blardy blar. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, like I was saying, the Dyatlov Pass story, that the main guy, Igor Dyatlov, he was an engineering. Was he? I don't think he was a student anymore. He was an engineer already, man. But these dudes are like they went out in the freaking Russian winter. Like, the thing is, Russia, it looks cold. Even in summer, it doesn't look like it's very hot there. And these dudes went out in the winter into the mountains. I just want to check the temperatures, right? Drop. Minimum temperatures during that February is considered deep winter in Russia, in the Ural Mountains there. Celsius minus 34, Fahrenheit minus 29. I doesn't matter if it's Celsius or Fahrenheit. When it hits a minus, I I literally start dying, okay? Because it's freezing. It's like now it's colder than your fridge. Okay, it's so like they went in there. Now they're going into the mountains. The wind can blow there. And then when the wind blows, the temperature drops even further. So now these dudes are not playing around, okay? These guys are very serious. And they were going to go up this Mount Torton as part of a grade 3 certification, hiking certification. Okay, yeah, we've got a bit of canine interaction coming up here. There he is. All favorable conditions here for taking out a wolf. I'm just going to edit this, the whole harvesting. They call it harvesting. I'm just going to edit that out. Nobody wants to see that. And then overnight here. This is, but I'm going to edit all of that. The Mirthless Fork. Okay, so it's the next day. And we're continuing on our mission here. Has this place got a name? No name bridge. And then pretty soon we're gonna be leaving Keeper's Pass south and entering. Oh yeah, let's just check here. This car here. I want to show you. This is something that you might not know that you can do. Right. So there used to be stuff in this car, but now it's empty. So now keep a check out. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing in it. So it still has this decal on it. It shows that there's stuff here, but there isn't. Even the battery's out. So what you do is you put your thing, the marking thing, and then you just right click and then you rub it off. Hey, I only find that out now. I've been playing like forever. How cool is that? Okay, here we go. Here we are in Pleasant Valley, and we're going. We are traveling east. It feels like we're going south, right? Feels like we're going south, but we're not. We're going east. Okay, so there's a bit of a dodgy edit here. I just couldn't stay away from that car. Here we're at Long Curve, which is a landmark here in Pleasant Valley. Yeah, so about that grade 3 certification being the most difficult hiking certification that you could get during in 1959 in the Soviet Union. I think the fact that they were doing it in midwinter, and the thing is, the Urals is considered the same climate as Siberia, by the way. So they probably had something to do with it. It's like the same kind of ballpark, yeah. So this is very difficult, very dangerous. And that's how you get this. And the thing is, there's a bear there, by the way. You saw the bear. Just gonna try and not get it too excited. Okay, so now this certification that they were getting on this hike, the fact that they were doing it in winter, I think played a role in it. But now the thing is that you get a certification like grade 3. It means you've already got grade 2. Okay, so some of them, I don't know if it is Igor, but some of them already had grade 2. So these are experienced. Okay, And these are tough people, they just missed getting killed in the Second World War. They were all just too young to take part in the war. They just missed all getting killed fighting in the Second World War. So this is how they choose to do their winter break. They're gonna go in. They're gonna go here into these mountains. Go camping in minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. It is like very, very, very cold. This is their idea of fun. They're gonna ski and mission in the snow, and like this is their idea of recreation. Okay, we've come from the west there. We're going to be turning southeast now. It looks like this road straight, all the way through this map, but it's got this major kink here in the middle. We turn south there towards that little development. What is that place called? There's so many names I cannot remember. Talking about names, okay? Here we got Contemplation Bridge. I wanna give you the names of those two women that were on that expedition. These Russian women have the sexiest names, man. And the thing is, immediately when you see the names, you have this there's this immediate thing of well, why did they take those women along? I think it was Igor. Igor had plans. But the thing is, that's totally off. I'm sure that Igor had no plans for either one of those young ladies. But the thing is, you gotta kind of guys. Most of what they do revolves around getting into the unmentionables of females, I'm sorry, guys, but the thing is, in my experience, I've seen it, but the names of those women. We just need to deal with this little issue here. These black dogs. I wonder though, I suppose, it's just a game, it's not that realistic. But the thing is, I doubt that if one dog will come for you like this. Maybe they will, you never know. But usually there's a bunch of them together. When there's a bunch of them together, and they can even be relatively small, they will give you a hard time. That's the way the canine emergence behavior operates. They are a little pack of things, and they operate together, and you are in trouble when they decide that you're the target. So now the names of those women, Zinaida, Kolmogorova, and Lyudmila Dubinina. I don't know about you, but any name that ends with nya, that's just gonna get me going. And I bet you that Zinaida's nickname was Zina, And the thing is that this is my favorite picture of her, by the way. You can see what she looks like. And she wasn't hard on the eyes. And the things you can see by that picture, she's got there's like a warmth about her. She looked like she was a very nice person. And you can't blame old Igor, Igor. So there's one guy that stands out from the rest of them all, Semyon Zolotaryov. He was 37, and the rest of them all in their early 20s. And he was a Second World War vet. I don't know, but surviving the Second World War as a Russian is a feat on its own. You know, it's like I don't know if you've seen the stats of how many Russians died during the Second World War, but it's astronomical. I think it's more than all of the other people combined. You know, it's like insane amount of Russians died. So he survived, and the thing is that what something I like about I think the reason people like trying to paint him as a dark horse is because in 1950s Soviet dentistry, this guy, and I wouldn't mind having stainless steel teeth because, man, like teeth, my best tooth is like a fake metal tooth, you know. He had stainless steel caps. This guy, his teeth were all kind of fixed with stainless steel, which I think is a very good solution. Okay, here we go. Abandoned mine. Just want to name this rock cache. When I made these rock caches, I kind of like skipped the titling. See if there's anything worth taking inside here. Nothing really that we need on our trip to Desolation Point. Inside the mine here, you gotta keep an eye on where we're going. Okay, so that is just from kind of it doesn't matter, you can go either way there. The other way you just climb down the wooden things. It's not that big of a deal. This is just a little bit more civilized, going down these wooden stairs here. Did you see the stick there on the right hand side by that tunnel? That's just an indication, because you can't make your campfires inside the mines. So if you see there's another stick, that's just to show that that's the wrong way to go. So I must apologize, but I got my like the thing is this what would you call it? It's just like suppose force of habit, you know, picking up. But the thing is, one thing that I find very difficult to ignore are pieces of coal. I don't know what it is about coal that's so irresistible. I think it's like you got an hour's worth of fire on each one of them. Interesting to know is that with five sticks you get an hour's fire. You know, so it's like I always like sticks. Okay, there's another one, another block, and I'm missing a couple of coals there, which is fine. But I don't know about you, but I find it very, very, very hard to walk past a nice bit of coal. It's just change our torch, or a focal as they call it in where I come from. A torch is that thing with the batteries. I know that they call the torches flashlights in more civilized places in the world. I saw this old movie where the guy says, "Bring the thing that works with the batteries, the light." So I don't know what that was about. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna mission through here. Like, sorry, I'm looking at you. Like, I lost track of what I was doing. You know, and the thing is, you can, you lost track of what I was doing. I was supposed to make a guide for how to get to the place, and I started looking for stuff. I think it started there when I started picking up the coal. Okay, so here we go. This is Coastal Highway, and then there's overnighted there. Next day, all kinds of stuff happened there. I built a rock cache there, and put all that coal away. There's an amazing. That's one of the nicest mines, I think, for getting coal. Like that thing has just got tons of coal. You get about 25 to 30 pieces of coal if you go through there. But the thing is, also it depends on with the cooldown for how long it's been since I've gone through there. So it stayed in Blackrock for very long time, making all those videos. Okay, so old Simon or Semyon. What's his surname again? Let me just check here. What is it? Zolotaryov. Yeah, so he was like 35. 37. Okay, World War II vet. He wasn't an engineer like the other guys were, but the main reason for him joining the group was to gain his grade 3 hiking certificate, because he worked as an instructor at a tourist base. So he wasn't with that. He wasn't part of the crowd. He wasn't part of the group. But I think if you look at the photographs of him interacting with the other guys, it seemed like they were all pretty much, like he didn't. That doesn't look like he was an outsider, or he was like. But I don't know. The interesting thing about the analysis after the thing is that he had like an epic chest trauma, and it looked like it got eaten by a motor car, and I don't know what the explanation for that is, when he was crushed by snow or something. I don't know, but it's part of the mystery. He was also the best dressed of all of them compared to the other guys. It says here that he was well dressed compared to the others, wearing a fur coat with and multiple layers. Well, the other guys were all like ran into the snow half dressed. The camera they found on his body was not listed as the group on the group's official equipment inventory, which is interesting, and like might indicate that he could have been spying for the. But the thing is what's spying? These are full-on Russians, like they were full-on into the whole kind of Russian nonsense. But I must say. Oh, there we go. There's a bear. There's a bear over there. It's like we found lots of bears on this day. Like I haven't found any of the mountain lions. I've switched on the mountain lion thing. Wait, I think this is before I upgraded. Yeah, this is all winter mute. Yeah. So these are old videos. In some of these places you're gonna tangle with the freaking mountain lion. They are super cute, those things, though. Okay, so an old Semyon. They people like, yeah, he was a spook and thing. But the guy he also ended up being unalived with this whole story. So I can't see why would people would say, he sabotaged the expedition because of military nonsense that were being done, tests were being done. They were in the middle of nowhere trying to find a mountain that nobody's been before except the Manzi, the local dudes that hang out there in the cold. There was nothing, none of, like the conspiracies. The conspiracies. There was kind of spy, all kind of stuff involved. But the thing is that if he was the inside guy, why did he also end up extremely dead? And the thing is that the deaths were tragic, man. You know, like I don't know, like the photos of the remains are heartbreaking. You know, like, and the thing is that the one girl, the blonde one, yeah, Lyudmila, her body was only found a couple of months after, or several months after the incident happened, and her injuries seems to have been the most severe and controversial. But it seems bad. But the thing is, if you look at what was wrong, like her tongue was missing, parts of her lips. Her lips, facial tissue, and eyes. Like I said, that all just shows to me that something had been eating on her, right? The conspiracy is, her tongue was taken out because she was, she was taken because she was outspoken or nonsense like that. It just sounds to me like something had been eating on her face. The problem is that she was found face down in a stream. So there must have been crabs. Okay, there must have been. I don't know if you get crabs in Siberia, but that sounds to me like so in a couple of months, something sounds to me like something had been eating on her face. The other thing though is that she had a couple of broken ribs on both sides, which is not easily explained, except if she was crushed under ice or snow, but that just is one of those things that shows you. And then there's absolutely no evidence that there was any cutting. There was no knife involved in her missing her tongue, anything like that. But the thing is that all of this stuff, especially to the family, especially to her parents and people that knew her, it'd be horrifying, It's like, when you think about the people you love, you think about them, missing. I don't know. But the thing is that just the whole thing about the remains, especially when you see, how beautiful Zina was. Yeah, these are young people, and even old Igor looks like a kid from down the street, Okay, we've arrived at Crumbling Highway, or the Old Island Connector, as it's also known. This is what we call a transition zone. These maps are called transition zones. This up here, there's a lot of cool stuff here. There's a basement there where you can. That's got nice stuff inside there. It's like almost like a prepper cache. A little basement with stuff in it, and then around the corner here on the left there's a cave where you can camp out. Convenient spot for hunting rabbits and curing the pelts. And this is a dodgy area because these wolves sneak up on you. Like I didn't hear this thing and. Totally unprepared. I'm getting my ass handed to me very nicely. I'm just gonna skip all the first aid there. Every now and that can happen. You can get your butt handed to you by a wolf. Okay, this is the road collapse. Landmark here in Crumbling Highway. Yeah. Old Island Connector. So I just want to go see if there isn't any, because I've run out of painkillers. Let's see if I left anything here. So this is also not a bad place because you can put. I think you can put three rock caches in any area. So this is not a bad place to have had some painkillers in a rock cache. Yeah. So here we go. You can go either way around. You can go around this way. You can't go up this way. This is like the shortcut down from the mine. And then you go around this way. And here we're gonna get the cave. Ach, not the cave. Then we're gonna get the mine. And then we're close to being done, eh? We're very, very close to being done. Crumbs to Desolation. Desolation point there. Let's see if there's anything in there. There's lots of cool stuff here. Better than any of the other caches that we've seen. I'm looking for, seeing if I can find a bit of sunshine. Make a fire so we can get a torch going, but that's not going to happen. So we'll just use our storm lantern. Mission on through this gold mine. Don't have much time left. Just want to wrap up the Dyatlov past incident story with this. Now we've looked at all the experience that these guys had. Okay, they were young in their 20s. But it sounds like the level 3 certification was a big deal, you know. And there was that one guy, that 37-year-old guy that he tagged along in order to get that thing. So these guys were experienced, and they knew what they were doing. And something happened. There was something outside of the tent flap that scared them so much that they cut a hole in the side of the tent and ran into Siberian midwinter. Okay, and some of them didn't even have boots on, no jacket, nothing. It was just like they were busy chilling, making food, you know, having a bit of singing a bit of, you know, playing on the ukulele. I don't know. I think one of them had a little a ukulele or guitar or something. They were singing, chilling, you know, making food, and there's something outside the tent that is so bad that they don't go through the tent flap. They don't go out. They don't stick their head out to see what is it like. What's happening? Is there avalanche? Is there an avalanche? What's happening? What's up? It was so scary to these very serious guys that they got a hole and started running half dressed to certain death. Hey, I don't know if you've been in a situation where you think, okay, so I'm either gonna face whatever this is, or I'm going to rather choose dying by hypothermia. Because you want to tell me that none of them thought that this is going to happen to them when they were cut a hole in the side of the tent to run for their lives. That's the big thing. That's the big thing about this Dyatlov Pass story. Okay, there was something outside the tent where you go out that was something that they did not want to face. I want you to think about that when it comes to the Dyatlov Pass incident. Okay, never mind all of the other nonsense. Something scared these guys, enough to want to just rather choose death by freezing. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't think about subscribing. I'll see you later.
Just it do.